Confidence is the power to achieve any of your goals, but you have to understand it before you can become it. Take the red pill with my new book, The Truth About Confidence.
Lost in the crowd. There's an important difference between being in a tribe, as I'm defining it, and being part of a crowd, even when the members of a crowd are all there for the same reason and feel the same passions. Sports fans come to mind immediately. There are vociferous and passionate fans all over the sports landscape. Football devotees in Green Bay, soccer, or as those from the rest of the world know it, football, enthusiasts in Manchester, ice hockey zealots in Montreal, and so on. They cover their walls, their cars, and their front lawns with team paraphernalia. They might know the regular lineup for their local teams when they finished in 4th place in 1988. They might have postponed their weddings because the date conflicted with the World Series or the European Cup. They're dedicated to their teams, rhapsodic about their teams, and their moods might be dictated by the performance of their teams. But their fandom doesn't place them in a tribe with their fellow fans, at least not in the way that I'm describing it here. Fan behaviour is a different form of social affiliation. Some people, including Henri Teifel and John Turner, refer to this as social identity theory. They argue that people often derive a large sense of who they are through affiliation with specific groups, and tend to associate themselves closely with groups likely to boost their self-esteem. Sports teams make fans feel as though they're part of a vast, powerful organisation. This is especially true when the teams are winning. Look around at the end of any sports season, and you'll notice team jerseys of that season's champion sprouting all over the street, even in places far distant from the team's home city. Fans boast their affiliation with victorious teams much more loudly because at some level they believe that being associated in a tangential way with such a team makes them look better. The social psychologist Robert Cialdini has a term for this. He calls it basking in reflected glory, or burging. In the 1970s, Cialdini and others conducted a study about burging and found that students at a number of American universities were much more likely to wear university-related clothing on the Monday after their school won a football game. They also found that students were more likely to use the pronoun we regarding the team, as in, we destroyed state on Saturday, than they were if their team lost. In the latter instance, the pronoun usually switched to they, as in, I can't believe they blew that game. The point about burging, as it relates to our definition of tribes, is that the person doing the basking has little or nothing to do with the glory achieved. We'll give a tiny bit of credit to the effect of fan support if the fan attended the actual sports event. Though serious sports fans are a notoriously superstitious lot, only the most irrational among them actually believe that their actions, wearing the same hat to every game, sitting perfectly still during a rally, using a specific brand of charcoal during the tailgate party, have any impact on the results. Membership of a fan group, whether it's the Cheeseheads or Red Sox Nation, is not the same as being in a tribe. In fact, such membership can create the opposite effect. Tribe membership, as I define it here, helps people become more themselves, leading them towards a greater sense of personal identity. On the other hand, we can easily lose our identity in a crowd, including a group of fans. Being a fan is about being partisan, cheering or jeering, and finding joy in victory and agony in defeat. This might be fulfilling and thrilling in many ways, but it normally doesn't take you to the element as a means of self-realization. In fact, fandom is in many ways a form of what psychologists rather awkwardly call de-individuation. This means losing your sense of identity through becoming part of a group. Extreme forms of de-individuation lead to mob behavior. If you've ever been to a European soccer match, you know how this can apply to the sports world. But even in more benign versions, it results in a sense of anonymity that leads people to lose inhibitions and sometimes perform acts they later regret, and in most cases do things outside their normal personalities. In other words, these actions can take you far from your true self.